10 places to visit in Cyprus. This island has a grand history. Coveted by empires across the centuries, Cyprus's enviable position has made it a prized possession for all who rose to power in the eastern Mediterranean. Today, people still flock here, but it's now to seek out the island's beaches rather than to gain power and glory. For travelers interested in more than sand and sun, you're in for a treat, as Cyprus has archaeological sites, fine Byzantine churches, and monasteries and museums galore among its historic tourist attractions. It's also a wonderful place to go hiking, with an incredible wealth of unique flora and fauna. Best of all, it's so small that you can easily base yourself in one town and head out on sightseeing day trips from there. Number 10. Akamas Peninsula. The western tip of Cyprus is an area known as the Akamas Peninsula, and it is one of the least inhabited parts of the island. If you're eager to get off the beaten track, then this is the place to be. There are literally no paved roads. As a result, it is ideal for hiking or mountain biking. It is also an amazing place for spotting wildlife, just some of which can include sea turtles, reptiles, and native birds. You can also explore the history of the Akamas Peninsula with a visit to the Agios Andronikos, a former mosque and current church that was constructed in the early 16th century. Number 9. Nicosia. Nicosia is Europe's last divided capital. Nicosia is the capital of the Republic of Cyprus, and North Nicosia is the capital of UN, unrecognized North Cyprus. The Green Line slices right through the center of the walled Old City District, and you will need to have your passport and fulfill any of the current border requirements, which change regularly, if you want to cross. In Nicosia, the Old City lanes are home to several excellent small museums, including the Makarios Cultural Foundation Byzantine Museum and some fresco-covered churches, such as the Agios Ioannas Church. Two of the city's best preserved architectural sites are in North Nicosia. Here, you'll find the glorious Gothic architecture of the Salamiye Mosque, originally the 14th century St. Sophia Cathedral, and the Ottoman-era caravanserai of the Buyak Khan. Number 8. Famagusta. In North Cyprus, don't miss the old city of Famagusta, surrounded by sturdy high Venetian-era walls and inside scattered with the crumbling ruins of Gothic churches. In the center is the Lala Mustafa Pasha Mosque, which was originally the Cathedral of St. Nicholas, built in the early 14th century during the reign of Lucy Nans. Sprinkled throughout the old city lanes are several other churches in various states of ruin or despair, mostly dating from the 14th century and built in the Gothic style, but also some earlier Byzantine examples. Famagusta's biggest tourist attraction, though, is its 16th century Venetian walls, with its bastions and gates, which can still be climbed up and traversed across at some sections. Number 7. Kyrenia. Kyrenia is North Cyprus's prettiest town, having clung to the old Ottoman character of its harborside district. Kyrenia Castle overlooks the quaint harbor on the eastern side, and climbing up onto the castle's ramparts rewards you with fantastic views across the town. A squiggle of narrow lanes meander back from the waterfront area, full of wooden shuttered houses in various states of despair. It's a great place for strolling and soaking up the timeless atmosphere, and there are plenty of cafes overlooking the harbor for when you want to put your feet up. Number 6. Trudeaus Mountains. The Trudeaus Massif in the hill region of the southwest are packed full of pretty villages, full of stone-cut traditional houses and cobblestone alleys. They are also home to some of Cyprus's most amazing churches and monasteries that hold vibrant frescoes and wall paintings that date from the medieval era. The Trudeaus churches are so important historically that 9 of them have been given UNESCO World Heritage status. The Church of Archangelos Michael in the little village of Puedulas should be top of your things to do list. For self-drive day trip potential, the Trudeaus Mountains are easiest access using Limassol or Nicosia as your base. Number 5. Larnaca. Easy-going Larnaca on the island's southeast coast may be a seaside resort, but it's kept its local soul. This is by far the most laid-back base for holidaymakers here. All the facilities for sun and sand-based fun, but the old tumbling Turkish Quarter 1 and ornate Agios Lazaros give the town an interesting historical edge. while the center itself has retained the atmosphere of a proper workaday town rather than just a summer resort. Even better, the Salta Lake, just to Larnaca's west, is packed full of flocks of pink flamingos during spring, and plenty of hill villages and cultural tourist attractions lie in the surrounding hinterland. Number 4. Protaras. For maximum relaxation and accessible beaches, it is hard to beat the coastal resort of Protaras. The main beach, Fig Leaf Bay, is dotted with sunbeds and loungers, and you can choose whether to take a dip in the refreshing waters of the Mediterranean or just sip a cocktail in the sunshine. The nearby Cape Greco is a protected nature park with a quieter, family-friendly atmosphere. There is also a nearly 10-mile pedestrian trail that lets you hike and soak in the views of the ocean and the town, and the nightlife in Protaras offers plenty of fun until the early hours of the morning. Number 3. Salamis. This huge archaeological site is home to a wealth of marble ruins and ranks up there with ancient Kyrenia as the top historical site on the island. Wandering along the dirt tracks of Salamis between sets of ruins from a muddle of different time periods is a lesson in the vast history of Cyprus. Grand Hellenistic statuary missing their heads, which were looped off by overzealous Christians, sit amid the ruins of the gymnasium. Two substantial ruins of Byzantine churches stand amid fields of wild fennel and weeds, and a humongous reservoir area showcases the engineering ability and management of what must have once been a grand ancient city. Number 2. Limassol. After the capital city, Limassol is the biggest urban destination on the island of Cyprus. It is a major seaport, and over the last few decades, it has become a major tourist destination for those in search of sun and sand. The old town of Limassol is the best place to start your time in the city, and you won't want to miss a tour of the impressive Limassol Castle. Also in the old town is Anaxar Tisaya Street, a major shopping venue, and Seri Polo Square, which serves as a nightlife hub for locals and visitors alike. Don't leave without admiring the luxury yachts docked in Limassol Marina or strolling along the beachfront Akti Olympion path. Number 1. Pathos. On the southwestern tip of the island is the coastal town of Pathos, commonly referred to as the birthplace of Aphrodite. Pathos is split into two parts. The lower section is known as Kato Pathos, and it is where many of the hotels and archaeological landmarks can be found. The upper destination is the commercial area, where you can find shops and eateries. The big hitter site in the resort of Pathos is the House of Dionysus, home to an incredible collection of mosaic floras that are feted for their excellent preservation and vibrant coloring. Parts of the larger Pathos archaeological site, which contains the excavated remains of ancient Pathos, the area is home to a variety of Greco-Roman ruins, as well as several other mosaic houses. The House of Dionysus remains the most visited part of the site because it contains the best examples of intricate mosaic artistry.